You've been walking a long road. Maybe it's been uphill, rocky, filled with turns that didn't make sense. You've done your best. You've pressed forward when quitting seemed easier. And while others may have laughed, doubted, or dismissed your quiet persistence, I want you to hear this loud and clear. God is about to give you something big. Now, I don't say that as a cliche or a catchy line to stir your emotions. I say it as a revelation tied to a principle. You see, life at its core is governed by invisible laws. Laws of faith, of cause and effect, of reaping and sowing. You don't sow honesty, consistency, faithfulness, and growth and walk away empty. The harvest is coming. The soil you've been plowing in secret is about to bloom in public. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed how right before a breakthrough, things tend to get more chaotic? The pressure increases. The silence becomes deafening. The delays feel endless. That's not punishment, it's positioning. Pressure always precedes promotion. Delay is not denial, it is divine preparation. What you're going through is not random, it's not wasted. You've been in training for the very thing you've been praying for. And the size of the battle you're facing, it's often a clue to the size of the blessing that's coming. God doesn't give great victories to small-minded people. He enlarges your capacity through your struggle. Some people want blessings, but they don't want the blueprint. They want success without structure, reward without responsibility, gifts without growth. But God is not a magician. He is a master builder. And you, my friend, are under construction. Now, here's where it gets educational. Success is not an accident. There are principles at play. Belief, clarity, focus, persistence, and obedience. These are not just nice words. They are spiritual laws. When you align with them, you don't have to chase big things. Big things begin to chase you. Faith is not sitting still waiting for a miracle. Faith is movement. It's doing what you can with what you have, trusting that what's coming is greater than what's gone. You may not see the full picture, but if you keep stepping forward, the light will catch up with your feet. And when it does, you won't just walk into a blessing. You'll walk into a breakthrough that rewrites the story of your life. Some of you listening right now have been overlooked, underestimated, maybe even counted out. But heaven keeps perfect records. And when God decides it's your time, no force, no opinion, no mistake can stop what's coming to you. Not even your past. So prepare. Elevate your mindset. Speak like you're ready. Think like you're chosen. Move like you're about to walk into overflow. Because you are. God is not about to give you something average. He's not about to give you something ordinary. He's about to give you something big. And it won't just bless you, it will shock you, shift you, and through you, bless everyone connected to you. Stay ready, because it's closer than you think. Absolutely. Here are 6 powerful key points from the speech. Your struggles are strategic. The challenges you're facing are not random. They are preparing and positioning you for something far greater. Pressure always precedes promotion. God rewards the faithful. Quiet persistence, integrity, and obedience do not go unnoticed. The seeds you've sown in faith and diligence are about to produce a harvest bigger than you imagined. Delay is not denial. When things feel delayed, it's often a sign of divine timing. God uses the waiting season to prepare you for the weight of the blessing. Spiritual laws govern success. Just like gravity, principles like faith, clarity, focus, and persistence are laws. When you align with them, blessings naturally begin to flow your way. Faith requires movement. Faith isn't passive, it's active. Taking bold steps, even without full clarity, is what activates divine doors and supernatural breakthroughs. A big blessing is coming. God is not preparing something small for you. He's preparing something big. It will be transformational, not just for you, but for those around you. Want these turned into a slide deck or graphic for YouTube or social media? Everything you've been going through, the long nights, the silent battles, the moments where quitting felt like the only option, it all has a purpose. Life isn't just happening to you, it's happening for you. The struggles you face are not meaningless, they are strategic. They are custom designed to prepare you for the level of blessing God is getting ready to release into your life. Too often we look at pressure as a punishment. We feel like if things are hard, we must be doing something wrong. But what if the opposite is true? What if the very intensity of your current situation is the clearest sign that something significant is on the horizon? Think about it. When gold is purified, it's placed in fire. When diamonds are formed, it's under extreme pressure. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens in the struggle. You see, God doesn't allow pressure without purpose, and He doesn't waste pain. Every tear you cried in secret, every time you chose to believe when nothing was working, every time you showed up with faith instead of fear, those were seeds. And like any seed, growth is invisible before it becomes visible. Just because you don't see it yet doesn't mean nothing's happening. Roots grow deep before the tree rises. And right now, what looks like a delay is often just deep development. It's easy to trust when everything is working, but real faith is forged in the fire when everything in you wants to give up, but something in you won't let go. That's not weakness. That's strength being built. That's your capacity being stretched to hold what's coming. Because God won't pour a great blessing into a small mindset. He grows you first so you can carry what He's about to give you. What's hard now is shaping who you're becoming. The strength, the wisdom, the endurance, the discernment. You're gaining all of it in this season of struggle. And when the blessing finally arrives, you won't just receive it. You'll be ready to sustain it. So if the pressure feels intense, that's not a sign to quit. That's your confirmation something big is being birthed in your life. The struggle is not a stop sign. It's a signal. You're closer than you think. Keep going. There is a principle woven into the fabric of life that cannot be denied. What you sow, you will eventually reap. And when it comes to faithfulness, showing up, staying consistent, walking in integrity even when no one sees, God keeps perfect records. You may feel like your efforts have gone unnoticed, like your sacrifices have been in vain. But the truth is, every small act of obedience, every decision to stay on the path, every time you chose to do what's right over what's easy, it all matters. It's being counted, stored, multiplied. We often think that big breakthroughs come from big public moments, but more often than not, the most powerful blessings are birthed in silence. In those seasons where you kept going without applause, without recognition, without visible results. That's when character is forged. That's when trust is built. And that's where God begins to position you for what's coming. There's a difference between being overlooked by people and being forgotten by God. People might not see your value right away. They may overlook your dedication, your loyalty, your vision. But God sees every step. He sees when you chose humility over pride, perseverance over comfort, purpose over popularity. And when He decides it's your time, no person, no delay, no past mistake can block what He's prepared for you. Faithfulness is not about perfection, it's about direction. It's about choosing to align your daily actions with your deeper purpose, even when it doesn't make sense, even when the reward isn't immediate. That's what builds spiritual momentum. That's what attracts divine favor. God doesn't just bless effort, He blesses the heart behind the effort. And when your heart is right, when your motives are pure, when your grind is quiet but consistent, get ready, because the reward is coming. You don't have to manipulate it. You don't have to force it. You don't have to compete for it. What's yours is already written, and when the time is right, God will release it in a way that no one can deny. Not only will it bless you, it will silence every doubt, every critic, every fear that tried to tell you it wouldn't happen. Stay faithful in the little things. Keep showing up. Keep sowing in prayer, in service, in love, in excellence, because soon your harvest will speak for you, and it won't be small. It will be evidence that God rewards those who refuse to give up. Waiting is one of the most misunderstood seasons in life. When things don't happen on our timetable, we start to wonder if they'll happen at all. We question our prayers, our plans, and sometimes even our purpose. But what we often miss is this: delay is not denial. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to. In fact, the very delay you're experiencing could be the setup for something far greater than you imagined. There's a reason God doesn't give us everything we want exactly when we want it. A blessing that comes too early can become a burden. Timing matters. If you're not ready to handle the weight of what you've been asking for, it can crush you instead of bless you. That's why preparation always precedes promotion. God uses seasons of waiting to mature you, sharpen your discernment, increase your strength, and develop your character. Think of it like a seed. When a seed is planted, it disappears into the soil. Nothing about its transformation is visible. But deep beneath the surface, things are shifting, roots are growing, the structure is forming, and when the time is right, that seed pushes through the surface, not because it rushed the process, but because it was ready. The same is true for you. What feels like silence is actually development. What feels like a pause is divine construction. One of the greatest challenges in a delay is trusting what you can't see. It takes spiritual maturity to believe that God is still working, even when there's no visible evidence. But faith isn't built in answered prayers. It's built in the gap between the asking and the receiving. That's where you grow. That's where you learn to depend not on what you feel, but on what you believe. And let's be honest, if God had given you everything you asked for when you first asked, you might not have been ready. You might have mishandled it, misunderstood it, or even walked away from it. But now you've learned. You've grown. You've developed the vision and the responsibility to not just receive the blessing, but to keep it and multiply it. So don't let the delay discourage you. Let it prepare you. Let it refine your focus and deepen your gratitude. Because when the time comes, and it will come, what God releases in your life will make the wait not only worth it, but necessary. Success in life, true, lasting, meaningful success, is not a matter of chance. It's a result of alignment with timeless spiritual principles that govern how things unfold. Just like gravity holds everything in place, there are unseen laws that operate in your favor when you learn to recognize and live by them. These are not just ideas, they are powerful forces: faith, clarity, focus, persistence, and obedience. When you align with these principles, you begin to flow with the current of purpose rather than fight against it. Many people spend their lives trying to chase success, chase wealth, chase opportunity, but the truth is, when you apply these principles consistently, success begins to chase you. Faith is the foundation. It's believing in the unseen, trusting the process even when the outcome hasn't manifested. Faith activates vision. Vision activates clarity. Clarity fuels focus, and focus, when combined with persistence, becomes unstoppable. But it doesn't stop there. Obedience is the multiplier. Sometimes we know what to do. We've heard the inner voice. We've sensed the divine nudge, but we hesitate. We second guess. Yet, it's in obedience to those spiritual whispers that the breakthrough is often waiting. The smallest act of obedience can open the biggest door of opportunity. When you begin to live your life in alignment with these principles, things begin to shift. Doors open that you didn't knock on. People show up who carry the answer you prayed for. Circumstances begin to move in your favor, not by coincidence, but by divine orchestration. Because success, when built on spiritual laws, is sustainable. It's not just about achieving more, it's about becoming more grounded, more disciplined, more aware of your purpose. You begin to understand that the inner work, your thoughts, your beliefs, your habits, is what shapes your outer world. It's not magic, it's alignment. And when you're aligned with the right principles, your life starts to reflect that alignment. Peace increases, progress accelerates, confidence grows, and you start to walk in a rhythm that feels natural, yet powerful. These laws are not reserved for the elite or the lucky. They're accessible to anyone willing to live with intention. So if you've been struggling, not because you're not worthy, but because you're out of sync, take a step back, recalibrate, choose faith, get clear, stay focused, be obedient. Because when your life aligns with spiritual principles, you don't just hope for success, you attract it. Faith is often misunderstood as something passive, waiting, hoping, sitting still until something changes. But real faith, the kind that moves mountains and opens doors, is never idle. It moves, it acts. It steps forward even when the path isn't fully visible. Faith is not just what you believe in your heart, it's how you move in your life. It's the choices you make when nothing around you gives you a reason to believe. Imagine someone standing at a closed door, praying for it to open, yet never reaching for the handle. That's how many people live. They pray, they hope, but they never take action. Faith without movement is like a car with no gas. It may look ready, but it won't get you anywhere. The truth is, God responds to motion. He blesses the steps we take, not the ones we think about. The moment you begin to move, even in uncertainty, something in the spiritual realm activates. Doors begin to unlock. Connections form. Opportunities emerge, not because you forced it, but because you moved in faith. There's a divine principle at work here. What you do with what you have determines what God gives you next. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next step. Use what's in your hand, your skill, your voice, your idea, your gift. When you move with purpose, God multiplies your effort. When you move with expectation, heaven meets you halfway. Movement doesn't always mean a giant leap. Sometimes it's small, consistent actions. A phone call, a prayer, a change in routine, a shift in mindset. Those tiny steps, taken in faith, begin to build momentum, and momentum attracts miracles. The people we admire for their success didn't wait for certainty. They acted in faith, trusted the process, and allowed their movement to create clarity along the way. And here's the part many overlook. You don't wait for faith to feel strong before you act. You act, and that very act strengthens your faith. Courage grows when you use it. Confidence is built when you keep moving through the fog, trusting that light will meet your feet. So don't sit still, hoping for everything to change. Get up, take the next step, speak the dream, start the project, forgive, apply, shift, move, because faith that sits still stays stuck. But faith that moves forward, that's the faith that sees results. There are moments in life when what you're walking into doesn't match what you've been through, and that's how you know it's from God. Because when He moves big. And what He's about to release in your life won't be something you can explain, earn, or even fully anticipate. It will be evidence that grace was working behind the scenes the entire time. The blessing that's coming is not ordinary, it's transformation. Sometimes we expect God to do small things because we've gotten used to disappointment. We shrink our prayers, lower our expectations, and settle into survival mode. But God doesn't think in human limits. When He blesses in overflow. And when He says something big is coming, He means exceedingly, abundantly, above all you can ask or imagine. The size of the blessing often reflects the size of the assignment, and yours is great. What's coming won't just be for your comfort, it will be for your calling. It's going to lift you, but it's also going to impact others. You're not being blessed just for you. You're being positioned to become a blessing. The influence, the opportunity, the open doors, they're not just personal victories, they're platforms for purpose. And God is about to put something in your hands so powerful, it will change the atmosphere around you. But here's the beauty of it. The blessing won't feel random. It will make sense of your pain. It will bring clarity to your confusion. It will connect the dots between your past struggles and your future success. You'll look back and realize that nothing was wasted. Every delay, every heartbreak, every failure was part of the process. And when the blessing arrives, it won't just reward you. It will reveal you. It will uncover the version of you that was hidden under pressure, shaped in silence, and refined by fire. People around you may be surprised, but heaven won't be. This has been in the plan all along, and now, because you didn't quit, because you stayed faithful, because you kept believing even when it made no sense, now the stage is set. Get ready. What's coming is big. It's bold. It's beyond what you thought was possible. And it's going to prove that when God moves, he doesn't just restore, he elevates, multiplies, and astonishes. This is not the season to shrink back. This is the moment to stand tall, because your something big is right around the corner. In conclusion, everything you've endured, every challenge you've faced, and every moment you've persisted in faith and action is leading you to a powerful breakthrough. The journey has been one of growth, preparation, and alignment with divine principles. The struggles, delays, and pressure you've encountered are not signs of failure, but divine training for the greatness that is about to unfold. God doesn't give small blessings to those with small minds or small faith. He's preparing you for something monumental, something that will not only transform your life, but will also impact the world around you. The road may have been difficult, but it was necessary to build the strength, character, and clarity needed to handle what's coming next. As you walk forward, remember that success is not an accident. It's the result of aligning with spiritual laws and moving in faith, even when the path is unclear. Your persistence, your faithfulness, and your obedience are positioning you for the extraordinary. Don't be afraid to act on what you believe, even when things don't make sense. The blessing is closer than you think, and it will be far greater than you imagine. So, keep moving, keep trusting, and keep expecting. What God has for you is big, and it's on its way. You are about to walk into a season of overflow, where your faith will not only be rewarded, but will shine as a testimony to the greatness of the God you serve. The best is yet to come.